Beating on the drum, catching feelings when I do that. Yeah.
Come and see what all the hype is about. Tune in to The Hype 87.3.
That's right. It is your girl, Tampa Mystic, and we are live right here in ATL on The Hype 87.3. And today, Mike Skrilla, what's going on, family? How you doing?
What it do? You already know.
It's good to see you. Good morning. Happy Sunday. All that good stuff.
Yeah. Light traffic.
Yeah, most definitely. For those who are just meeting you, kind of break down what you do. You're an artist, producer. Run through it.
Okay, I'm Mike Scrilla. What I do is, I'm a songwriter, I'm a producer, sound engineer, videographer, do a lot of content creating. I even have, a lot of projects I'm working on.
Yeah.
If it's movies, I got a movie script, I really got to get to it, but I got to have a team for it. Just haven't shared it too much because, it's not really protected yet. So,
Understood.
Yeah. But for the most part, I'm just creative when it comes to art. I'm just an artist at the most part.
On the film side, is that something that you're going to look at filming yourself, or are you going to bring a team of videographers on?
Well, I thought about bringing a team, but you got to have a team when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to that, because you got to have your focus puller, so forth, your director. Because even doing the small films that I did in project myself, I realized that I need a director because I can't direct the actor and direct the photography at the same time.
Understood.
So, yeah.
Understood. I have a amazing connection with that. If you're interested, I could always, point you in their direction. Somebody I've known for a very, very long time. He's done multiple films, and each time they get better and better and better. Shout out to Real Rebel Films.
Yeah, that's what's up. Because I think this storyline will be a good storyline because it's around the streets, but through the film, it's not street. It's more suspense. It's a suspense film because it's like when you're watching it, you got to pay attention to the key pointers in the story because it all lead up to the end.
That's hard. I can't wait to see it. We already talking about watching it, and it's still,
Yeah.
But like you said, you don't want to put too much out there because it's still in the thought process. Yeah, makes perfect sense. You have a project called Invoice?
Yes, Invoice. Yes.
I know that's right. Send that invoice.
Send the invoice. Yeah,
Run him his coin.
Yeah, Mike Skrilla, the accountant. Sending out those invoices. Yeah, invoice. Yeah, that come from, I was just sitting back one day just thinking about, I'm going to tell you where it started. It started from people owing me. I helped a lot of people, involved with a lot of people in music, things of that nature. And through the process, some things was owed, and I was just thinking about that, thinking about things. And I just thought about, what do I owe? What do I owe? What's on my invoice? And that's when I came up with the whole concept of, the series. It's going to be a series basically, but that's when I came with the concept Invoice.
Do you ever get people asking why did you call it that?
Yeah, because a lot of people like, who owe you? I done had people when I released, I had people call me like, do I owe you anything? What I'm saying? I was like, I think you do. So if you owe me something, share it all week and we'll call it even. That's how I was telling everybody, but they was making jokes about it. Yeah,
that's dope. That's how they can pay their debt, sharing the project.
Share the project all week.
So the phrase "everybody owes something," what does that mean to you?
It means people think that they don't owe something. People walk around in life would think they don't. Like, even something as simple as owing your ancestors the best of you.
Yeah.
Owing your the people who left. Like, I see people who was left land and anything after parent died, something you owe them to maintain it. And a lot of them didn't. So I'm like, dang, and you really owe your ancestors. And that's just something simple. And you may owe somebody an apology. You may owe somebody, whatever you owe, just pay it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of I start thinking like maybe if society start paying what they owe, things may be paying out a little bit better.
I couldn't agree more. That's a great way to look at it. You're 100% right, because something I talk about often, none of us are bigger than the program.
None of us.
Period. And that means there's somebody right now that we owe something to, whether, like you said, even if it's as simple as an apology, go ahead and give it to them.
Because the only account that matters is accountability.
That is a fact. My OG, shout out, long live Bigger Rankin. I always quote him, and I will forever. He always said, stop pointing the finger and start pointing the thumb. Taking accountability for our own actions.
Yeah, because some people get me wrong sometimes when I speak about things, and they would think, you know, because sometimes I could be theatric with things, you know. I can seem madder than what I am. You know what I'm saying?
He's a drama king.
Yeah. You know, so you know, but it's I start understanding that some people attention, you can't get them just having a conversation. Like sometimes people don't even realize, they have to feel it. So sometimes you have to tap into their emotions to make them feel what you're talking about.
Man,
you know,
that is a fact.
It's sad to say, but
it's the truth, though. It is the truth, and it's like, I hope this is a wake-up call for some of y'all.
Yeah.
So why was it important for you to make like a concept-driven project?
Well, the reason being because it's more, you know, it started me working on myself. And, you know, when you start working on yourself, you start building, you will start wanting to, like, you know, share that.
Yeah.
Like, people can learn from your growth. So, you know, just like with me, you know, I went to prison for 4 years, and then I got out, and then I went to college, you see. Got a bachelor's degree in criminology.
Amazing.
So I took accountability in trying to pay back to my community.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because if I lived a life and I was doing certain things, and if I had harmed anybody in any way, because you can harm a young one just by showing them the wrong thing.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So what I did is I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to college and all, and, you know, and through that process, I realized that the from my neighborhood, the college graduate rates went up. The kids enlisting in the college, it started going up, and that was back in 2013 when I enrolled, because they put me in the newspaper and stuff like that. So yeah, so I had a strong campaign with that, because I had a concept before I left prison called New Street Order.
Okay.
You know, and I was talking to a lot of different gang members, different religions at the time. And my main thing is, when it comes to that, it's like so much division is why nothing could be founded, you know.
100%. Having to sit down, you said, for 4 years, what would you say is the biggest thing you learned during that time about yourself?
The biggest thing I learned about myself was that I didn't really have patience.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I didn't really have patience at all. And through all of that, what helped me, like, ground me was studying.
Okay.
Like, I'm very studious.
Yeah.
Like, it's more to me than meets the eyes, you know. So I became studious. I started learning. The first thing I started learning was economics.
Okay.
You know, I just started, because I was lucky to have a prison that had a good library. And I was coming in law library so much, the officers never really paid it attention. Even when I'm unauthorized, I can walk in there. So I moved in a way where I made it common to where I can just go in and out as I want. So I was able to get books when I want.
That's dope.
Had more books. I had so many books that told me, you got to take some of those back.
Let somebody else use them.
Yeah.
But that is dope. So how do you balance being a father, because we talk, you have a 2-year-old, an artist, a producer, you're into film, you're an entrepreneur, like everything you do. What does work-life balance looking like for you right now?
Well, it's consists of structuring. You know, I learned that you have to measure your time like a yardstick. You know, a yardstick 24. You have to measure your time, you know, every hour, you know. So I sleep 6 hours, you know. I get 6 hours in, you know. When I wake up, I go straight into, you know, reading. First thing I do is read.
Okay.
I got a small library. I just pick whatever. It don't matter if first thing come to thought, I study law, I study history. You know, I got notebooks that these are personal things. Those are personal things. But that's what I do. I read, then I go into, you know, working on my day, you know, throughout the week. So I would go on my day job, then I would come home, then I may work a little bit more. Cause see, my youngest don't stay with me right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like a distance right now. It'll be later on, but when he's with me,
understood.
And when he's with me, it's like I kind of like take that whole break, you know. But it's real structured. Like my days are structured. And at night, most of my music are created like 2 in the morning, stuff like that.
Word. I feel like sometimes that's where we come up with our best ideas. It'd be like that 2, 3 in the morning.
2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah.
Man, I'm usually asleep by that time. But there are so many times I'll wake up out of my sleep with an idea and I'll roll over and put it on my notes on my phone so I don't forget it. Like, I don't know what it is about that 2, 3 in the morning, boy. Our mind just be coming up with the best ideas.
Yeah, see, my problem is, like, the downsize where I'm living, and everything is right here. So sometimes it been tracks that, you know, I may wake up in the middle of the night, and I just go straight to and I just start. It been times where I've been out, been doing some work, and I'm away home. I'm listening to the track, get home, and I record a track, go to sleep. You know, that's how the studio is, like, right there. So I'm on my own everything, so I got the time. I don't have to really sit no time.
I love that. I feel like, man, as an artist, if you are able and have the means to put a studio in your house to be able to record yourself, that's great, because you can roll out of bed at any time, come home anytime, and boom, get in there and start working. Yeah,
and then the advice I have for artists, you know, a lot of people used to ask me learning all of this stuff. They used to be like, how you gonna do all of this and this, that? You need a team, and I was like, yeah, but I still can do certain things on my own.
Yes.
Well, now we're in a time where all of those skills, it matters now.
Yes.
Because a lot of artists can't film themselves. A lot of artists can't record themselves, because now that's going to be your way, because it'll cut down all the production costs.
Yes.
It'll cut it all the way down.
100%. Do you choose to stay independent, or would you ever entertain a situation if it presented itself and made sense for you?
Well, I'm a businessman. I don't mind sharing anything I produce, you know. And like I always tell my partners, you know, I come from the street way, so I always kind of look at my work like, I always kind of look at my music like it's work. Hey, look, let's break this down, all let's eat. You know, that's kind of how I look at it. So it's like, you know, I'm cooking all this together. Hey, let's get it together and distribute it. So I'm always interested into, you know, working on deals, anything like that. You know, situations sound logical. Yeah, I'm with the move, because I'm a team player in the end of the day. You know, I'm doing a lot of stuff by myself, but I'm still a team player. But learning all that helps me to where, like, even if I meet people, all I need is people who are willing to be involved. I can teach them what I know.
That's right. Absolutely. It's got to be teachable.
Knowledge is the currency.
Man, knowledge is so powerful. Like, and there's so many resources out here now. Like, we in 2026, there's YouTube University. Now we got all these chat GPTs and AI, Google, whatever. Human beings would be the first place you'd want to go. You know what I'm saying? Go learn, definitely. How much of your music comes from real life experience?
All of it. It's all of it. Like, I literally write my music for the purpose of, like, if anything happened, my children can play it back and, like, really know me.
I love that. Yeah. It's like we can learn your legacy through listening to your music. What would you say is the one song in your catalog that really defines who you are?
The song that really defines who I am in my catalog right now, I will have to say Remember. Because Remember, I'm telling them, you know, I had certain situations where, you know, people forget who you are, you know, because you have a different lifestyle now. Yeah. You know, and I have to always remind them, like, remember that giant's still there. He's asleep. You know. So now I'm showing them, like, you know, I was the movement the whole time. And I'm talking to Northwest Georgia. A lot of them won't admit it. But I'm telling them, like, I showed them, like, this is the movement. This is how you need to push. This is how you need to get it out there. You know, even back then doing opening acts, some people, they didn't even know how to really put themselves in it. Like, I didn't do a lot of open mics. Like, I wasn't the type of artist that did open mics. Yeah. I didn't really, I did some, you know, because I would be with others that do open mics, you know. But, like, I did more concerts than I did open mics.
Understood.
Yeah.
Right now in 2026, what do you feel like is the top, like, 1 or 2 or even 3 things that artists absolutely have to be doing? Because we talked earlier about content. Like, give us 1 to 3 things that artists cannot skip right now in 2026 that they have to do that's going to be imperative to their career?
Well, we know we said content.
Yes.
And production. They're going to have to learn production, you know, because they don't know. I come from, okay, I've been doing music, literally took it serious since 2001. A lot of these kids rapping weren't even born. Right. So I've been doing it that long, and I'm so that puts me in a real hip hop era. I'm an '80s baby, you know, t-shirt, cocaine. So when you look at it, you have to have more skills than just being an artist, because the money you're gonna spend. I spent a lot of money throughout the years doing music. You know, I wouldn't think about it because I was having fun.
Right.
Like, it was fun now with limo rides. We was we was living like stars, and we wasn't even really known like that. You know what I'm saying? But in certain areas, you know, we were doing our thing. So, but it's a lot of money was spent. Like our first music video, we spent over $10,000. You see, and we was independent.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
In Miami, we spent over $10,000, and I think, and that's when we started the label Block Market. So Block Market, that's when we were official, because the Mob Style was more like a group of us, and then we officially established the label Block Market Music, and then we, you know, that's when we were starting to invest, trying to get investors and stuff, you know. So part of shooting the videos is us meeting investors, future investors and stuff at the video shoot. You see, so because one of the future investors actually owned the house we were shooting in, so we was, you know, we was making our way, and at that time I probably was about at the time I think I was like 22, something around that time.
Wow.
Yeah, something around that
That's
time.
a big bag today, let alone back then. That's a big bag.
Yeah, especially with the value of a dollar now. Oh yeah, definitely. Man. Yeah, you talking, maybe you might well just say that was about 20,000.
Exactly, maybe 30. You know, if you in comparison to what it would be today.
Yeah, we was that serious even then. You know. Yeah, and Brian Battle, that's my people. That's my family. He was the one that was like, hey, we need to make this official, and he was the one that was kind of like became the brains behind the business while I'm dealing with the production in the studio work.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was set up. Yeah.
Where were you born?
I was born in Rome, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And I grew up in Cedartown, Georgia. That's south of Rome. Okay,
got it. And then you've been in the Atlanta area for how long?
For about 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 years. But I was always back and forth out of Atlanta, even back then at a young age. Even when they were telling me not to, because my uncle, he know, I have family members. It's a thing. My uncle Clyde, he died, got murdered in Atlanta years ago.
Oh man.
Back when the Miami boys, all that was going on. So you know, in my family, it's like me and him was the only of our kind out of our family. You know, so with me kind of living a life that he was living, they was always telling me, you stay out of Atlanta, you know, stay out of Atlanta. And then I, you know, don't be in Miami dealing with them, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, but I've been back and forth to Atlanta since about, during that time, because my first show was with Big Timers. They had the Hood Rich tour. Yeah. And I opened up, that was my very first one, I opened up for Big Timers. So I would say that was the beginning of me being in and out of Atlanta. Yeah.
Do you feel like back then it was a little bit easier to get on shows like that, like concerts where you were opening up for artists versus today? Because it seems like a lot of these artists who are on today, you don't see a lot of people necessarily opening for them.
Yeah, it does seem like that. I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of artists are not doing opening acts.
It's like maybe they don't want other artists to get shine too on their I don't know what it is.
You know what? You're really putting on to something, you know, that made me think about it, because there have been times we was doing a show and, you know, I don't want to name drop, but we were doing a show and at the time they were some major artists, and we was in Jacksonville, Florida.
Duval.
Yeah, Duval. Hey, look, they loved us down there, Duval. But yeah, we was down there, and I guess the show was so bad they were screaming to put us back on the stage.
Wow. Yeah. Seeing them big acts, they don't like that.
Yeah, they was like, nah, put them back on the stage. We don't want to hear them. They were booing them, you know what I'm saying? Wow. Yeah, them boys from Albany, they were booing them, man, you know.
Man.
Yeah, it kind of took it personal, like it was getting personal down there, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like that's why we don't see all artists supporting other artists. Some do, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But they don't, because they don't want to see anybody outshine them. And I think that's weird, because there's enough room for out here for all of us.
Yeah, I never understood that, because my first project was with all my... Yeah. I could have just did it by myself, honestly. But at the time, I just had got... just bailed out, got caught up in something, you know, got locked up in the midst of getting ready for a show. Then they had to hurry up and bail me out so we can go do the show. And then when I get out, I basically at that time, I had to pay everything to get out of jail, and then I had to move because of the situation.
Yeah.
You know, because while I was living there, you couldn't get caught with with drugs and they evict you behind.
Yeah.
It. But that happened. I had to move. I used all my money. And I released our project, and all I had was the $200 to even put the CDs together.
Man.
Like, I just knew in my mind, I'm finna sell these $5 a piece.
Listen, he's a hustler, baby.
Yeah, I was like, I'm selling, sold them, and then made enough money, and I was back doing what I was doing, hustling the way I was hustling. But at the same time, I never stopped selling the CD. I ended up putting them in stores. What gave me the idea, let me tell you what gave me the idea to put them in the store. Big Oomp.
Shout out to Big Oomp.
Big Oomp, yeah. What gave me the idea, I came to Big Oomp, they had a giveaway section. I set my CDs there to give away. So I laid about 10 CDs there, leave. And I always would visit the store just to see it was, come back. And then it was like they was out of it. And the guy that was working at the time, he was like, he seen the CD in my hand. He was like, oh, no, that's on the shelf. And I'm like, really? And then looked up there like, yeah, it got plastic on it and everything now, But I didn't feel no type of way about it because I'm like, if it's worth putting it on the shelf, it stay up there.
100%.
Because that gave me more value than them taking it off and putting it on the shelf because our CD was more presentable than all the other CDs. You see, they was already printed, pressed on, everything.
Professional.
Even coming out the country, they thought we were from Atlanta, though. We were from the country. Yeah, everything was pressed when we used to come to Atlanta promoting. That
is hard. Do you feel like today in 2026 that putting CDs out is still a thing?
I went into a store and I seen CDs on the counter. And I started asking, do people still buying these? And I think it's starting to become like the ideal of records.
Yes.
Because even me, I even like records. Like, I'm thinking about taking all my projects and
I've got a couple sitting over there.
That's what I keep looking at. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Like, the sound of the record. I think a lot of people don't appreciate the sound anymore.
Yeah.
I think the digital kind of took away the analog. Even when I'm mixing my music, I'm trying to find everything that'll keep it sounding analog.
Absolutely, because even with these digital platforms, Apple Music, they suppress the if I listen to the raw file versus Apple Music always seems a few decibels lower.
Yeah.
They like suppressing it.
Spotify does it.
Yeah.
You're not getting the raw sound. So even that's why buying the music the best. Cause I still buy people.
Yeah, I do too.
I would go check it out, listen to it, and be like, because when Nipsey Hussle came out with Victory Lap, I never really heard Nipsey Hussle like that. I don't know how I came across Nips, but no, someone sent me a beat they wanted me to get on, and I'm like, where does beat come from? And it was that I can't think of the song. He sampled that Annie Hard Not Life.
Oh yeah,
he sampled that, but and then I started listening to Nip. I like him because he's speaking to my age group.
Yeah.
Speaking about finances, speaking about things of that nature. So in a sense, it's kind of like I'm just helping the lap. I'm just adding on to Nip out there.
Absolutely, he's another great one.
Yeah, because that's the mindset that I've been on for a while. Yeah.
Are you facing any challenges as an artist right now?
Team, to have a team, that would be my main challenge. Anything else, as far as like personal anything, no, because I've been creating so long, I kind of know how to live, my life and stuff around it,
Yeah.
And plus my creation come from my experience of my life. So my creation gonna come like that, I know it's a lot of people, they strive to want to make it. I always had this ideal of like, I made it. I already made it. Like I made the beat. I made this happen. I made it.
Yeah.
If you look at your success for what it is, you'd be more happy of what you're doing. That's why I'm still 42 and able to still create.
100%. So if you were to have people to step in and build a team, what are some things that people could be doing to help you right now?
Well, main thing is assisting. Making sure that I'm not, bringing their ideas in as well, because I only can conjure up so many ideas.
Right.
And that's one thing. Like having for me to be able to sit down and listen to others that I could trust. I say this is my team, and I can listen to them. You see, because been doing it for so long, and I'm listening to myself. Because when it started, it was just me understanding, okay, hey, we got to get, our publishing. We got to get this and get that. It was more so everybody listening to me until it came a time where they started learning too, and I was able to listen to them. So I started learning a lot because even with the crew, my partner Skinny J, the Pope, them the main ones, Cut Dog, all of them, when it started out, I understood that, but when they started learning things, they started bringing me knowledge in the studio, because we had a team of people. We had probably, RP Marquez, he was like my assistant. Like, he was like one of the main engineers. He wasn't the biggest rapper. I used to have to push 16 bars out of him.
Okay.
He had a beat in the hook. That's it. But he was real technical when it come to making sure the computer's in line. Like, we had a real team then, So when I look at it like that's the team, I would need something that's gonna, it would be the small thing, a person in the tech, anything, with graphic designer, because right now I actually do all of it. Like, I'm the full artist, graphic designing, everything. Because I said, let me tap into being a full artist all the way around. Yeah. So,
I get it. I get it. Has it, because I'm asking, because I dealt with in the past having an issue with delegating tasks because I wanted to, not that I wanted all the shine, but it's like I want things done in a certain way, certain time frame. And I had a couple of experiences where I did delegate certain things. Like, I used to not film my own interviews, and I was paying other people to do it, but the problem was it was taking them forever to get the footage back to me. I like to have it out in a week or less, because oftentimes what we talk about is time sensitive. Is that ever been a thing for you where you kind of like had a little issue with delegating tasks to people? Because I'm trying to still overcome it. Because when you on time, you like that, because especially when you structure with business. And I mean by structure with business, that means like if you got a meeting at 12 o'clock, you should be there at 11:45. If you show up on time, you're late.
That's what I always learned. That's what I always learned. So
what Big always said.
Yeah, I always said, especially the people with the big money, I always say that. They always say that, and I knew that I had to be on the right track when I was having conversation with people who have money. They was in a hedge fund group talking about investing into my law school if I was going to go to law school. And he told me, like, he said you will be wealthy by the way you be on time. He said, because they were having a conversation. I was like, they talking millions, and I'm like, do I need to be in this room because they talking money that I ain't counted yet? What I'm saying? And they're like, no, you fine. I'm like, you need to say, you look rich to me. That's how he said it. I'm like, what you mean? So he explained to me later. He said, well, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you present yourself. He said, you present yourself as you rich. And then, it took me a while to understand that. He told me about 10 years ago.
Perception is everything. Like, let's be honest, and it shouldn't be this way, but there are people out here who will judge you based upon your appearance, and they won't even hear you open your mouth and speak or talk or anything like that. And we just, this is to all my artists out there, what you was talking about. People won't take you seriously if you're showing up late to everything all the time. Like, man, I'm always here way early. I'm always here early. I never want my guests to show up before me because it comes off as being unprofessional. Now, if they show up an hour early, I may not be able to help that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm usually here 30 to 40 minutes before my guests just because I need to have, you know what I'm saying? It matters.
Actually, we was in the area by, I think we was in the area around 10 something.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll be in the area. Like, I may come to the area, I may be sitting somewhere eating something or something like that.
Yeah.
So, that's why I took this day like I did, because for one, it's content day. I'm into interviewing, get my mindset, because this is a first radio interview in a long time.
Man, well, thank you. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm actually enjoying the conversation.
Man, me too. I want to actually circle back to when I asked you about like some of the important things. Artists. How do you feel about artist ownership? How important is that? Because a lot of artists don't own nothing.
Let me break this down and give you my 2 cents, okay?
Give us your 3 cents.
Matter of fact, hold on, let me break this dollar down so I can give it to you. I can have about 52 cents.
I know that's right.
But check this out. What it is, it's like ownership is really, that's where I was at from the beginning. You know, when I quit school, I went straight to law library and I was learning copyrights, publishing, and everything. So before I even actually got on the mixtape, I already knew. That's why it was hard for those DJs and the people who had studios to work with me, because I'm 16 years old telling them that you can't get my publishing. And they looking at me like, huh? You know, you can't get my publishing, because I already understood that the masters and stuff, I already understood. That's the money. So if they're not focusing on their publishing, they're not focusing on how much ownership they have, what percentages, who getting what, then they're not gonna make anything. You know, so they got to know ownership. It's not bad to give up ownership. Yeah. If the money is there. Yeah. You know,
it's got to make sense.
But then at the same time, they have to understand that once you give up the ownership, you have no control of it anymore. You know, you're just a performer of that work. Yeah. So they just really have to pick their poison. You know, me, it's like this. Once the money there is there, I don't mind not owning it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it have to be set up right for my children. You know, it had to be set up right for my family. Absolutely. Because I'm looking for them to be here longer than me. Yeah. You know,
that's your legacy.
And if my daughter, she does music. You know, she play the saxophone, play the keys. She make beats too. That's hard. So, you know, she just called me actually. I told her I had an interview, but she, you know, we gonna have our session today. We always have studio session. I have to critique her beats, showing her how to mix, and know your snares don't need to be like that. You know, it's interfering with this sound. See, I'm coaching her through all that as well. And she got that old Atlanta sound, the white tea era sound.
That's hard.
That's what's crazy about it. And I'm listening to him. I'm like, dang, I said, girl, this beat. I called Skinny. I said, Skinny, listen to this. This beat sound like your beats. You know what I'm saying?
What is her producer name?
She go by Zulu.
Okay.
Yeah, she go by Zulu. She actually an artist herself.
That's dope.
So she just mainly, it's funny because she came to me in 6th grade. She wanted to do music. Then we recorded 2 songs. And now at her age now, she look herself as a kid, but I was trying to push it then, and she kind of, I guess the way I was pushing it, I kind of made her fall back from it. But I was letting her know, like, this is what you're gonna get from the industry. You know, even though she was in the 6th grade, I think what it is, she seen that I stepped outside of her father. And
you're her protector.
Yeah, so I started. The relationship went from being her father to her manager, her producer, and I think that's kind of now she got of age, she understand now. Yeah,
absolutely. Like, you know, men are looked as protectors, and I'll tell you one thing about a little girl, our first love is always our dad. We're going to look up to them as being our protector, you know? So that is beautiful. Have you guys done a song together?
Yeah, actually we do.
Okay.
It haven't been released yet, but it's going to be in a series. Because, see, that's going to be really a surprise for everybody. It's kind of a surprise because people haven't really heard this song, So, yeah, and then she have her own music as well. So right now, she in the artist development. Okay. That's kind of like one of my specialties.
Is she your 22-year-old?
Mm-hmm. Okay, my 22-year-old. Yeah, that's like my specialty. I can help develop artists, you know. Like I got a way with that, showing them performance, stuff like that, you know. Because I have done that behind the scenes, a lot of that.
You might need to start that as a full-blown business because
there's none.
Exactly. the labels used to. Yeah. Now they want you to already come packaged up and ready to go.
And see, that's what I was doing with Third Eye Vision, you know, helping them. What happened was this. Third Eye Vision, I started shooting videos because I'm into production anyway. So all of the video, and that's another thing. Almost all of them was late. Almost all of them was late. You know, we starting late. You know, anyway, but but I was shooting videos. You know, I'm giving them pointers as I'm shooting videos. So they was getting their artist development when I come out to do work. I just give them all the knowledge I can give them because I tell them, hey, I've come to shoot, but what I know, I'm still gonna help you out with how to roll out your videos. Don't just post it. You know, actually roll it out. You know, so for years, I would still do music, but I'll just post mine. So it was, and I think what was the bad thing was they were seeing me do that. Yeah. Oh, and what I should have done is when I was doing music, even though I was just doing it just to be doing it, I should have actually rolled it out.
Lead by example.
There you go. That's what I wasn't doing. Yeah. So that's why Invoice coming about, because I owe them that. Because I owe them to show them what I was talking about. I didn't show them. I was just telling them.
Absolutely. And I feel like people like us who've been doing this a long time, we have to be the solution.
Yeah.
Meaning that a lot of artists don't know what they're doing. Well, rather than us complaining about it, let's help them.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of these OGs and people have been doing this, and they be complaining online about what these artists are and are not doing. Well, if it bothers you that much, then help them. Be the solution, or just shut up about it.
You know, and that's the invoice.
Yeah.
You know, because they owe them that.
Exactly.
You owe them.
Stop gatekeeping.
You owe them. And see, that goes right back to the invoice. So all those OGs owe them that game.
Facts.
They owe them that because if you don't teach the next generation, then what? Then you get the music business, what you see today.
That's why every interview I do, whether I know someone's been doing this for a long time or just starting out, I always say, do you have any questions for me? Because like sometimes people be like, yeah, like, you know, they'll never have interviewed before and they'll like want to know, and I'll give them a quick crash course of how it's all going to go down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's up to people like us to, you know, take that accountability and put them on game.
Yeah, and the game is really a slick word of knowledge. So don't think it's just something game ain't nothing but knowledge.
Exactly.
It's just a slick way we say knowledge.
Facts. We ain't playing games.
We
teaching you the game.
And knowledge is the currency.
So you mentioned you've got a record with your daughter coming up.
Yeah.
Anything else you have in the works that we can look forward to?
Well, if they don't adhere to the invoice, then it's gonna be a past due notice.
We're gonna stick it on their front door.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a past due notice. You know what I'm saying? Because some people ain't past due. Yeah. It's a series.
Okay.
So definitely, it's gonna be more to come.
What about any new visuals in the works?
Yes, definitely new visual. I'm working on the visual with Maddie for short. She's on the project.
Okay.
She's on the song Rockstar Duet,
which we're gonna listen to in a minute.
Rockstar Duet. So we working on the visual for that because I kind of get letting I'm doing this thing different. I'm kind of like giving some my features a lot of ideas and input on whatever I got them working on with me. So if we shoot a video, I want to hear more of their ideas than my own because I want them to tap into their art as well and implement it together. That's how you collab, you know. So it's a work in progress with that. That's what I'm working on with that, the next visual.
So I know you said today's like a content day. You're doing interviews. You're going to get photos and stuff. Do you have anything else coming up, like, you know, any appearances or whatever we can be on the lookout for? Other interviews?
Well, other interviews I'm working on. I'm waiting to hear back on other interviews at the moment. And well, and another thing it is I'm having my own podcast. I want to work on my own podcast called Skrilla 2 Cent.
I love it.
So what I'm gonna do on Skrilla 2 Cent, I'm gonna always give my 2 cents because everybody got 2 cents. They act like they don't. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna spend your 2 cents. That's what we mean by, you know, paying what you owe. Spend your 2 cents because we need it. You know what I'm saying?
That
the youngest
title.
need it. Yeah. So with that, so you know what I'm gonna do is collect everybody 2 cents. You know things like that, and I want to go around and just make it open. Political, anything, you know, whatever your 2 cents on, whatever it is, because I think everybody's voice, you know, everybody's voice has a receipt.
100%.
So, you know, I think, you know, they should be able to talk.
So let me throw this out there to you, because if I don't tell you now, I'm gonna forget. Okay. Next month, September 27th, there's a studio that's about 8 minutes from here called Soul Asylum Studios. Are you familiar with it?
Soul Asylum?
Yeah, Raphael Capone is the owner. He's been in the industry for like 30 years.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Every quarter they do an event called the Season Shift as we shift into the next season. Okay. Beautiful event. I go out and I do the media interviews. Artists can perform a song. DJs can producers can do a cook up, and it's a completely free event. They have an indoor-outdoor car meet because the studio is so big. They got the fancy cars inside out. They got the models walking around. I would love for you to come through.
Oh, definitely. That's content day.
It's exactly content day. It's like I said, it's a free event. They usually put the RSVP link out about a month prior, so maybe around the end of this month I'll have it and I'll make sure you get it.
They'll definitely get.
Just come out, and anybody else, like I said, it's free. And they do even with the artists and the producers. Sometimes they'll even do like a little cash prize, you know. So if the producer wants to do a cook up, an artist can perform one song. So it would be great to have you there.
You know, that's something different. I never cooked up no beat in front of people.
That would be dope.
I never did that before. I had to really lock in because I never really, well, unless it was people at the studio with me, but most of the time I'm always in the. I only have the light on, what is the desk light on?
Yeah.
It be dark in the room. I'm on the beat like I'm making some type of science project or something, you know.
I like that, a science project.
Yeah.
Who you got with you today?
Oh, this is my boy. Now this is Guilt. We call him Big Guilt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Not Big Guilt from
Goody Mob. Yeah, I got you.
But you know, he my partner, man. We go way back. He one of the ones from when we started.
That's hard.
When we had the studio
Day
in the band.
one.
Yeah, this one of my day ones when we had the studio in the bando. Yeah.
That's hard.
Probably we were probably the only one in history did that. Yeah, we had the J go up to the pole, cut up some lights on. Yeah, we rode out for a while until, you know, I think the door got kicked in. Something happened. I think they got raided down the street, and I think they came to that door too. So we didn't go back no more.
But I feel like all those type of life experiences builds who you are today.
Yeah.
Because we've all done some stuff we know we ain't supposed to do. You know, some of us just get caught, some of us don't.
Yeah,
you know?
like what are they doing in that house? What them kids doing in that house?
Nah, for real.
Had a whole studio in the bando.
Man, I remember being way underage, and I was paying people to go buy liquor for me, and they was doing it, you know, and I'm just like,
definitely that. Yo, see, the bootleg was just right down the street, so we were good. I
remember me and my homegirls, we were getting bottles, and I'm so ashamed to say it, of MD 2020.
Oh, Lord. That's that Mad Dog.
Because it was Mad Dog, and it was like so cheap. That's all we could afford back in the, you know, we was like 16, 17. No, we ain't supposed to be damn drinking.
Yeah, that MD, that's that Mad Dog 2020. I think they call it 2020 because that's what it take from you. 2020 vision, you know, not having no more.
Nah, you slurred and blurred.
and then you be fighting like a mad dog.
Nah,
everybody was on there. I know it was a fight. If it's bottles of that around, it might be a fight later on. If it's not a fight, they had too much fun.
That is so funny. Y'all youngers don't know nothing about that Mad Dog, boy.
They don't know about that. They don't want to know either.
Nah, don't. Kids, leave it alone.
It hurt in the morning.
Facts. That's I quit drinking liquor in 2017 just because I couldn't bounce back like I used to.
I couldn't either. I find myself drinking wine.
Every now and again,
y'all don't tell nobody. Yeah. Don't say that's sassy now.
No, listen.
I just mess with.
It's not, and I feel like it's a sign of almost like elegance. You know what I'm saying? Like you see people that go out fancy restaurants, they ain't pouring back liquor. They're drinking a nice glass of wine.
And plus, I got business in the morning.
Right.
That's the main thing. I can't go, go out here and network and then be out here, because we used to do that now. Like, I'm going to tell you, when we was on them shows, look, it was some bottles popping.
Been there, done that too.
But then you get to a point, you be like, you know what? We done 2 shows back to back this weekend, man. Like, come Sunday, it ain't feeling too,
Nah,
we at a young age, yeah. So it'll wear and tear on you, and that's when I started realizing, like, some of these, artists, you come into health issues, you don't be careful.
Yes, we just had this whole conversation, and I know it's a little bit further than just liquor, but like Ali Boy talked about how he was drinking lean.
Stuff like that.
It damaged his kidneys to now where he's lost his life. So it's like, we have to figure out what is most important to us.
Yeah. Is
drinking that crap or is our life?
Yeah.
There should be no question. And that's why, like, I even stopped eating certain things. Like, just because I'm like, you know what, my life is more important. I enjoy eating this, but I know it's not good for me.
Yeah, because it's like, even with me, I find myself eating more salads.
Yeah.
Because it hydrates me, stuff like that. And like, when it comes to it, like, once you're aging, the older you get. And see, a lot of these young ones don't know.
Who you telling?
A lot of the young ones don't know. You start really, really getting a sense of it at 30. That's when you start realizing, like, okay, I got to check this health, that health, because your body start going into the older age now, That
is a fact, because literally everything we do in our 20s and 30s will start catching up to us in our 40s and 50s. Yeah. If you find out at 50 that you got this, or this, it didn't happen 6 months ago. It's the crap you was doing 20 years ago, and it's now clogging up your arteries. Man, I talk about it a lot because I'm very transparent. I know the men don't always like to hear this, but I'm 52. I'm in menopause, and like, it's been the roughest part of my life.
Yeah.
You know, keeping the weight gain off and not being able to sleep and hot flashes. That's why I keep it cold in here. We had that whole conversation.
I mean, and even with, you know, even with the age, you know, even with the menopause thing, I'm noticing that some women, they speaking of it and they getting younger.
Yeah, exactly. Starting in their like late 30s.
Yes.
Or 40s. Like I was in what's called perimenopause since 46 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm just now at 52, like fully going into menopause. And it's, kids, take care of yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Like, and get your blood work done. You know where your markers are, because you could catch something before it gets too detrimental that you can't fix it.
Yeah, because my brother passed 2 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And like he had health issues that came later on.
How old was he?
He was like 40. Let's see, he probably was like 47, 48. Because they're a little older than me.
Yeah.
My older siblings. But he you know, they just found him passed out, you know.
Man.
But they found out that he had seizures. You know, my mom died from seizures, stuff like that. Luckily, I don't have those issues. Yeah. It could be because of the gas. I don't know. Yeah. But if it is, I'm gonna keep blowing.
I think you're okay with that.
Yeah. If that's gonna stop it, I'm staying where I'm at. But I never had those issues. But you know, it made me think about a lot. You know, being more healthy. Yeah. It
really does, because I lost my sister at 41. She had cancer, and God rest her soul, but she never really took good care of her health. She was pretty much overweight most of her life and had high blood pressure, and she ended up getting cancer. And cancer, like all health ailments, come from inflammation in our body, and it becomes from the crap that we're eating.
Yeah, and that's what I do every day. Even when you had a flame in your chest, get it out, because that's your body trying to get rid of it.
We have to flush our lymphatic systems.
Got to, yeah. Because
that's like the sewer of our body.
That is.
You know what I did, and I'm going to put y'all on game. I know this is completely off topic, but I love talking about this kind of stuff.
We just paying our dues. We got to give you the knowledge.
Yes, exactly. That's that invoice he's talking about. I bought a rebounder. It's like the mini trampoline.
Yeah.
And they say just lightly bouncing on that for 2 minutes is a complete lymphatic flush.
You know what? You might be right.
Yes. NASA studied it.
Because see now because when I start jump roping again.
Yes, it flushes you. That bouncing motion.
And I can feel it all in my spinal. You know what? You might be right.
So NASA did a full study on it, because they say when they send their astronauts out, because of the lack of gravity, they lose bone density. So they found that rebounding not only helps rebuild your bone density, you burn more calories than running. It's easier on your joints, and it flushes your lymphatic system. It regenerates your cells. So, ladies and gentlemen, go buy, and it's easy on your joints. My dad, who's 77, bought one because I was telling him how much I love it. My dad bought one. If my 77-year-old dad can lightly bounce on there, I feel like anybody can.
Yeah. You got me thinking about getting one myself.
Yeah, they're inexpensive. I bought mine on Amazon. It's like a little over 100. I think it was $115 or whatever. Cheap. It's 20 pounds. You can move it around.
Yeah. Because I noticed when I jump rope, I feel like I'm in line.
Yes.
Like, because going to the chiropractor, at one point I had a sciatic nerve issue.
Oh, man. All the way down your leg?
All the way down my leg. And then when I finally went to a chiropractor and I was talking to them about it, they was able to tell how long my hip was out of line.
Yes.
And they took me all the way back to like high school. And then I remember. When they said it looked like it's about, they said 17, 15 years or something. I got to thinking like, that's almost like right after high school. And I remember having a hip problem.
Yep.
Having a hip, they call them hip pointers.
Yep.
It'll stop. I'm have high tolerance of pain, so I kind of got over it.
You just got to lived with it.
Yeah, so over the years, my hip's been offset to the point where it turned my feet out and it caused my knee to hurt. So when they broke it down and told me all that shit, they was like, well, you don't have knee problems. It's probably because your hip out of line. As soon as I went through the chiropractor, I probably went to them for a year. I spent cash money with these people.
Yeah, a lot of them do cash at chiropractors.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even think about my insurance. I was so busy trying to. By the time I realized I could have used my insurance, I was already 6 months in. but yeah, when they line everything up, my feet turned straight, my knee never hurt again. None of that. I don't have no problems. Ankle, none of that. And it was all because my hip was out of line.
Listen, a lot of people don't know this, but years ago, I worked for a chiropractor. I did physical therapy in my previous life before doing this. And I worked for a chiropractor for quite a few years, and you are absolutely right. I would see people who would come damn near crawling in that front door, that after a few adjustments, they were able to sit up straight, pain gone away.
Yeah, breathing deep.
Yes, it helps with everything.
My sinuses cleared up.
Exactly.
She popped my neck, I was breathing. Like, hold on, that does that? Because I told her, I can breathe better. She said, yeah. And she started explaining to me, and it's breaking it down. Well, that's where your sinuses, your heart, your lungs, and I'm like, wow. So all I need to do is go to the chiropractor. I won't have to go to the doctor. Then I was like, man. So that's why I liked about them. They was giving me the knowledge to sustain without spending all my money.
100%. And to throw it out there, I actually probably about maybe 5-6 months ago, I interviewed a chiropractor, Change of Pace Chiropractic here in Atlanta. One of the dopest black-owned businesses. Go support.
These are sisters too.
Yeah, I love that.
That's called chiropractor work. I can't remember, but they in Kennesaw.
Okay.
They in Kennesaw.
Shout out to the ladies.
Yeah, definitely. Because they told me to come back. Because I always come talk with them. They always asking me that's where the 2 cent idea come from.
Oh, okay.
Because I used to go visit them, and I started talking about politics and stuff. And I'm just, they was thinking I was a Trump supporter or whatever. And I'm like, no, I just bring logic into situations. Like, I don't really support nobody. I don't know them. I support the people because the people are the government.
I could not agree more. That's such a shady, gray area to get into. I'm the same way. It's
like voting for, it's something, the way I look at it is like voting for a rapper.
You damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, somebody writing their scripts. You know, but I understand law to the point, and the Constitution to the point where, like, we the people are the government.
Yeah.
You read the preamble, it tells you that.
Yes.
And if we don't start operating as the government, then we're going to always find ourselves in these conditions that we don't like. So therefore, you have to get active. And that's what the people owe to themselves.
Yes.
That's the invoice for the people, is to become the government that they are.
100%. Stop complaining about stuff if you're not willing to get involved and try to find a solution or be a part of the solution.
Yeah, because I could have just laid down and complained about my hardships in life.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And they ain't doing crap about it.
Yeah, no, because and with me, I lived, 16, kicked out the house, all kind of stuff, and lived on my own, making my way through that. But I never felt like nobody owed me.
Yeah.
Maybe they probably did, but the things that I was going through, I knew that I can do it myself, so I was self-governing.
Yes.
So when I was 16 years old, even though that I'm on the block 5 that morning, come 7:15, I'm on the bus. You see what I'm saying?
No excuses.
No excuses. I was on the bus going to school, still go to practice. Get up Friday night, get out the game. I leave the game. I come straight to the trap. You see what I'm saying? Because that was my job to sustain my real life while I'm trying to figure something out. So I didn't give myself no excuses because I still owe myself a better life.
Period.
No matter what happened in my past, no matter what somebody else done, I still knew that I owe myself a better life.
That is a fact, 100%. Let's get into this record called Rockstar. Okay. Before we do that, tell everybody where they can follow you at. You
can follow me at Mike Skrilla, all platforms. Google me, MICSCRILLA. And I know we have another Skrilla. I kind of like his character. Yeah, when I first heard it, I like his character. But I was Skrilla before that Skrilla. But you can find me, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. You go to my YouTube. It's OG Mike Skrilla. That's my YouTube. So definitely go to my YouTube. That's where I'm gonna be probably doing the Skrilla 2 cent more often. Yeah.
Okay, most definitely. Who would you like to give thanks to that's been supportive through your journey?
I want to give thanks to. I want to give thanks to the whole mob style from the past. You know what I'm saying? Show love to them because that experience is what still motivate me. You know, the experience that we had back then. It's still my motivation till today. My daughter, my family, they was always supportive and whatever I had going on. Whether I'm trying to push a movement for the youth or whatever case may be. In my community, Eastview. Because all of my work come from the experience I had, whether if it was good or bad. Yeah. Whether we fought, had beef or whatever. Without all that, I couldn't be Mike Skrilla today.
I love it. Let's go ahead and get into this record. Introduce it for us.
All right, now y'all finna get ready to listen to a Rockstar duet. 2 rock stars on the duet. beating on the drum, catching feelings when I do that. Featuring my girl Maddie for short. I got to make sure I get a name right. Maddie for short. You know,
most definitely.
Because I call her something else.
Listen, we be charging to the head, not to the heart. Because we be having so much going on in our head. I get it.
And matter of fact, she had work out there. Y'all go follow her. Just dropped her video.
Okay.
And actually been shot by Third Eye Vision. So that was shot by me, directed by me as well. So
word, that's dope.
And
man.
we were swapping out work. That's what we did. You know.
Listen, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm all about bargaining and bartering and swapping out. Like, I'm here for that type of stuff. That's hard. All right, so we about to check out the record. Y'all stay tuned for it.
You're locked in with Atlanta's hottest hip hop station, The Hype 87.3.
Rock steady. Beating on the drum, catching feelings when I do that. Beating on the drum, catching feelings when I do that. Rock steady. Rock steady. Two rock stars on the duet.